Hello everybody and welcome back to Learn It Up. In this video we'll be starting permutation and combination. Let me write it down. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Okay, permutation and combination. Okay, so what is permutation and combination? You may ask now. So basically permutation and combination is the study of different arrangements of numbers. It may deal with different combinations of different things or finding out the number of times this a particular thing can be arranged. Let's just start this chapter with an example. So let me just change the color. So suppose you have two stations A, let's say three stations, okay, A, B and C. So suppose you have to go from A to C via B. Okay, so the questions are asked in this way, like how many ways are there from which you can go from A to C via B. Okay, so now let's say there are 6 ways between A and B, and there are 5 ways between B to C. So let's find out the ways between A to B. Okay, so let's say there are 2 buses and 4 trains, let's say from between A and B, and that's 6 ways. And between B to C there are 5. Okay, so let's say 3 buses and 2 trains, so that's 5 ways. So now the question will be, in how many ways can you go from A to C via B? So in this is pretty easy. First I'll show you the basic way how you count. So you can, if you want to go from A to B, you can take a bus 1, and if you want to go from B to C, you can take another bus 2, and similarly you can take a train from A to B, and then you can take a train from B to C, and you can change it up, like with a bus then take a train, or take a train first and then take a bus. So there will be many of these combinations between these things. So in permutation and combination we basically learn the very easy ways to count all the number of ways which we can go from A to B. So what will this be? The number of ways in which you can go from A to C via B will be just the number of ways from A to B, that is 6, multiplied by the number of ways between B to C, that is 5. So it will be 30 ways. So this is just the basic of how you count the number of ways between stations, or number of different combinations that you can take to reach from one point to another. Let's take another example just like this, and say we have to go from A to B and then to C, and let's say we add another station to D, that's D. Okay, so let's say there were 5 ways between A to B, 3 ways between B to C, and 2 ways between C to D. So what will be the total number of ways in which we can go to A to D via B and C? So it will be the number of ways between A to B, that is 5, multiplied by the number of ways between B and C, 3, and the number of ways between C to D, that is 2. So this will be 30. So this will be the total number of ways in which we can go to A to D via B and C. And I'll prove this, that this technique is comes in handy, and I'll prove how this technique works. So let's say there are 3 ways between A to B. Let's number these A, B, C, or let's do something different because we have already taken A, B. So let's say X, Y, and Z. And there are 2 ways between B and C. Let's say P and Q. So with our technique, what will be the total number of ways? So the total number of ways will be, there are 3 ways between A to B and 2 ways between B to C. So multiply this and we get 6. So this is with our formula. But if we use the theoretical approach, what all things we can take? Let's see. So between A to B we can take X, and between B to C we can take, let's say, P. So if we repeat that, we can take X and then Q, and then we can take Y, then P, or Y, then Q. And similarly for Z, we can take Z, then P, and Z, then Q. So these are all the ways in which we can go from A to C via B. So how many of these are there? If you count, you'll see that there are 6 ways, and this is synonymous with our answer that we got. So this was the basic of counting in permutation and combination, and we'll study more about this in later videos. And hopefully this permutation and combination is a very interesting topic. It can be very useful in real life and in several mathematical problems, and this chapter I am saying that it is very interesting and very helpful for our studies. So this was the basic of counting, and hope you guys got something to learn. Hope you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I hope you guys will see my next episode or next video. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and bye.